Hey everybody, it's Meredith Miller here with your Monday Sana Q&As. I've got one more question here. This person says, my ex-narc has blocked me, yet he kept coming into my work the last 4 weeks every day where I'll be to pick up his family member. He'd sit there, get there early so I could see him, but ignore me when I did. I also had him doing things throughout this time. I think she meant I saw him doing things throughout this time on social media aimed at me to hurt me. Made out I was a psycho, lots of different things. Why did he keep coming in? And when he saw me, made it very obvious looking the other way. It's really messed me up to keep seeing him. It's made me miss him so much. I managed to contact him and he has knocked me back again. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is passive-aggressive intimidation in the form of hoovering. Hoovering can take lots of different forms. Ross Rosenberg just put together this awesome little image with all the different forms that hoovering takes place. I posted that on my Facebook inner integration page. Check it out on Ross Rosenberg's page as well. But so this passive-aggressive intimidation is another form of hoovering. Him coming in there, positioning himself so that you're forced to see him and then pretending like he didn't see you and then posting the stuff on social media. Number one, how are you seeing that on social media? You need to block him, sweetheart. I mean, it's your decision. Do whatever you want. But if you want to move forward, if you want to stop feeling sucked back into the Stockholm Syndrome and the trauma bond, stop looking at that. And in order to help yourself stop looking at that, I would block him entirely on all the social media so you don't see any of that passive aggressive stuff aimed at you. Let him talk all the shit talk he's gonna talk. That's what narcs do. That's called the smear campaign. He's gonna do that. Like, you now know that's who he is. That's what he's gonna do. You can count on that. And in order to stop caring about that, you need to stop looking at it, because every time you look at it, it's just gonna make you upset and it's gonna reinvest you in the trauma bond. So number one, no contact entirely, cut off all the social media. Okay, the risk is that the trauma bond, that's why you said you feel like you miss him. What was it that you say? Like, you miss him and you like resent him or something. Damn, I can't find it right now. Something about how you're having these conflicting thoughts, right? Like, you seeing him, you don't want to be around him, you want to reject that, but at the same time, you're missing him. That's what happens from the trauma bond, okay? That's the trauma bond, that's the Stockholm Syndrome, and you want to break that bond entirely by getting, first of all, zero contact and getting really real about what that is. Like, that's him trying to stir you up. It's him intimidating, trying to cause fear, because if he instills fear in you, it's going to cause an emotional response. That's what he wants from you, is an emotional response. If you do anything, he will make you out to be the psycho, just like you said. If you respond in any way, that's why it's called crazy making, because they make you look like the crazy one if you react to it. So you can't give him that. You don't want to react to that. So I don't know what your work situation is. It says you're at work, right? I don't know what your work situation is, if you're like at a desk or a cubicle or the reception or retail situation, a school. I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know what your options are, but I would think about new options. Okay, so first of all, start breathing, right? Like, if he comes in, immediately look away. Do not look at him, because that's another thing about Stockholm Syndrome. If you look in their eyes, you can get tricked into that. That's why, like, in the FBI handbook, if you get kidnapped, they tell you not to look in the eyes of the captor, because that's how you get caught in the Stockholm Syndrome. Because when you look in the eyes, it's like humanizing it. Right? So don't look into his eyes. You can look down at the ground. I wouldn't even look in his direction at all, like at all, not to have any contact with your eyes, and recognize that he's trying to control you through that response. So breathe, start breathing, focus entirely on your work. Just be so into what you're doing that you don't even have time to look at that or notice what's going on. Like, just pay no attention to him. Even if you know what's going on, focus on the work. Just focus on your breath. As soon as you start thinking, as soon as you start feeling anxiety, just breathe. Now, if it's really bad and you just got to get yourself out of there, go take a break. Like, I don't know, again, what your work situation is. I don't know if you're given a couple breaks and you can take them whenever you want. Maybe you just need to go take a break. Just get out of there. Just get yourself out of the environment. Maybe you can think of some kind of work task that you have to do in another area of the office, or depending on the situation where you're at, something you can do behind doors somewhere else, someone you can go talk to about that project that you're working on. Like, just something. Just be busy and uninterested and whatever, you know, drama he's trying to put on there and whatever kind of intimidation he's trying to do. Maybe just go get a coffee, maybe just go take a walk to the coffee house, go get a coffee and come back, or go to the break room or go to the bathroom, like just whatever. Find an excuse to get out of there and away if it's overwhelming. Like if you can't focus on what you're doing, you don't want to let him know that he got to you, you know? So escape is like the last thing. Like if you really just can't control it in the moment and you feel like you're going to lose it emotionally or you're going to respond or something, get yourself out of that situation so you don't have to do that. So you don't give him that. Don't give him anything. Don't give him an emotional response, because that's what feeds him. That's what feeds him. And recognize that's his whole mojo. That's what he's doing. That's why he's there. He's intimidating you to cause fear, to cause an emotional reaction. So if you don't give him the emotional reaction by not responding to what he's doing, his game isn't going to work. He's going to get really bored with that game pretty soon. Like, it might take him a little while, but my sense is that this has been happening for some time. My sense is that you've been giving him too much attention in some way, whether it was on social media or whatever he observed in your reaction in the moment was feeding him, right? So you want to cut that off. Zero contact, zero reaction, nothing. So again, focused on work. If you can't do that and breathe and get things done, get yourself out of the situation, coffee break, talk to a coworker about a project, go to the lunchroom, go to the bathroom, go to the mailroom, like whatever. Find something else to do. I love to like listen to music. Like I would just probably, I don't know again what your work situation is, if you're able to listen to music, if you're sitting at a desk. If you are, I would put on headphones and I would start listening to something that pumps you up. Like there's this song from like the 1980s. It's called The Warrior. I think it's by, what's her name? Patti Smith. The Warrior. I would put that song on like this. Okay, get into it and like put on in like something that really pumps you up. Like I love that song because it's The Warrior and it pumps you up and you feel strong. Okay, because what's happening in that situation is like that fear makes you feel weak. It makes you feel like a prey to that predator, right? So you want to put on something that just like pumps you up and gives you loads of energy and makes you feel good. So you go on that coffee break, you're gonna go walk down to the coffee house or put on your headphones, listen to something that's gonna pump you up and shift your state. Music is powerful for shifting emotional state. Don't listen to your favorite song with him. Don't listen to a song that reminds you of him. Listen to something totally different that's just gonna like totally pump you up. Okay, and just pretend like he doesn't exist. This guy is a coward, right? So maybe that will help you too. You want to put some kind of label on that so you can really see him for who he is, because that truth and the acceptance of the truth of who he is going to help you break the trauma bond so that you stop feeling that connection to him. You stop feeling magnetized or rubber banded back to him. Even when you feel like, you know, you hate him and all that, that still is part of the Stockholm Syndrome, the love-hate thing. You're still stuck in it. You know you've broken that trauma bond when you feel completely indifferent, right? So how do you start to break that bond is like, just tell yourself, like, he is a coward. He is a manipulative, abusive coward. He's just coming in here and sitting over there. He doesn't even have the balls to come up to my face and say anything. He's just gonna sit over there in the corner like a coward, right? And just start talking yourself up, because passive aggressive people are cowards. They don't tell you what they actually feel or think. They slam doors and throw things and sit in the corner over there and, you know, pretending to intimidate you from over there. Cowards. Okay, so get that through your mind. He has no power. That's going to help you de-escalate the sense of power that you've given to him, and take your power back by going completely no contact. Cut him off from the social media so you don't tempt yourself to look at that. Cut him off from any emotional reaction or response in the moment when he comes to do that, and eventually he's going to stop doing that. It's just not going to be fun for him if he's not getting the reaction out of you, right? It's just not going to be fun. He's not going to get the thrill that he's seeking. He's going to have to go somewhere else to get that, and he will leave you alone. I'm sorry that you're going through that. That really sucks that he's coming into your work. Like, that should be the place where you have peace of mind so that you can perform and do what it is that you need to do, that you're getting paid to do. That's your lifeline, right? Your job. It pays for your existence. It's what supports you, right? So you don't want to lose that job, and you don't want to allow this schmuck to cause any kind of problem with you at work and with your performance and whatnot. So you need to take your power back, honey. Take it back. Don't give it to him, all right? It's unfair what he's doing. It's not right what he's doing. But you need to adjust yourself so that you stop giving him any supply, any attention, any reaction whatsoever, and he will walk away on his own because he can't exist without it. He's gonna have to get that supply from someone else. I'm sending you a big hug.